The sex change capital of the world, as it is referred to by many scholars and news sources in the past few decades, has been Iran. Each year, doctors in Iran average 300 sexual reassignment surgeries that can be subsidized by the government for up to half the cost. In contrast to other neighboring Muslim countries, what accounts for the radical deviation of belief in Iran? Is this an issue of interpretation of Islamic law? We argue that the decision of the Iranian government to sanction sexual reassignment surgery is largely an effect of interpretations of Ayatollah Khomeini's fatwa towards gender binary, sexual identity, and curing homosexuality. In Iran's strict theological government, sodomy is an offense punishable by death. Following this, homosexuality as a whole is viewed as haram. How then did transsexuality become accepted by the Iranian state and even supported through health insurance, financial aid, and new identification documents? The answer ties largely to homophobic interpretations of a fatwa. Transsexuality in Iran is seen as the soul of one gender being trapped in the body of the wrong sex. In 1964, Ayatollah Khomeini issued a fatwa stating that those who have sexual desires similar to those of the opposite gender or desires for the same sex are synonymous with the opposite gender, and sexual reassignment surgery is seen as a cure for this. This is then seen as a cure for homosexuality by framing sex change as a cure for diseased abnormalities. However, though sexual reassignment and transsexuality are supported and sanctioned by the state, the societal views of transsexuality do not differ largely from those of homosexuality. In fact, it isn't until 2010 that transsexuality is reclassified from a mental disorder to a glandular disorder. Prominent legal, religious, and medical discourse on transsexuality are based on the interpretations of Ayatollah Khomeini's 1964 fatwa. As Iran's first supreme leader, his Islamic jurisprudence is seen above all else. As while top Saudi officials may see sexual reassignment as haram, citing the body as the true gender, scholarly discourse in Iran is based on the permissibility of the operation as highlighted by the Ayatollah. Interpretations of the 1964 fatwa dictate that the soul determines the real sex and it may just be in the wrong body. To this end, sexual reassignment surgery can fix this, but the transsexual has no obligation to undergo the act. This is why many legal transsexuals may choose not to follow through with the procedure. Sexual and gender identity is an intensely personal and complex thing, but for a whole society, one cannot simply look at it through a religious or social lens, but must take a step back and look at all the interplaying factors. An anthropologist can be an observer within a hospital and ask about the general feelings of patients and doctors towards the reassignment surgery. In addition, an anthropologist should set up interviews with both government officials and religious officials, asking them about their stances towards trans and homosexuals. They should also engage the existing LGBT community within Iran and determine how safe they feel about being themselves, and if they've needed to compromise in order to fit in with the rigid societal gender boundaries.